Hey dolls, welcome back to DivaDollFlawless. Today's video is actually going to be on this, and it's how I tie my head wraps. Tons of you were asking questions about it. I do get a lot of compliments on my head wraps when I go out. It was just something I decided to do one day. I was having a bad hair day and I wanted something cute, fashionable, and decided to do it. Now, I'm going to tell you now, it's not a long tutorial because there's really nothing to it. It's super easy, and without the extra rambling, the tutorial will be a lot shorter. So once you get the hang of tying it, I'm telling you, you'll do it so many different ways. And that's pretty much it. So if you're interested in how I tie my head wraps, then stay tuned, dolls. Alright, so in order to fold my scarves, the first thing I do is I always fold mine in half, okay? And that's just to get some of the material and have a little bit more control of it, I guess you can say. There's really no scientific fact to tying these. It's really just however you want to do it. And to me, I feel like they're always best when they look just carefree but neat at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and take this scarf, okay, and I'm going to try my best to stay in the camera. It seems like it's so much easier when I'm just tossing this on my head and just tying it, okay? So I'm just going to, I always line my scarf up right here. And this one was gifted to me. Actually, all of my favorite ones were gifted to me. So now what I'm going to do is just take my scarf and I'm going to cross it in the back. And then what I like to do is just take the ends and pretty much twist them so that they're a little bit thinner and that they're not like super thick or anything like that. So once you have your two ends twisted, you want to have something that looks like this. As you can see, my ears are covered. I particularly like to wear mine with the top of my ears covered. Now what I do tend to do sometimes is take it and I might slide the scarf back just a little bit to let some of my my hairline show. Okay, and then I still keep my ears covered. Alright, now you're going to just take your two, and I'm going to try to do this on the side. You want to pick which side you want your scarf to be on, okay? Your bow to be on. So you just pick your side, and you're going to take and cross the two, just like you're tying a shoe, and you're just going to make a little knot, alright? Going to look just like this. I'm telling you, it goes by so fast when you're just doing it. I'm trying to describe how I'm doing it. And then you're just going to tie it just like you're tying a shoe and make a bow. I'm telling you guys, there's no rhyme or reason to how you do these. It probably looks a lot harder than it really is. And now what I'm doing is just simply tucking my ends. Now some people tuck theirs behind a bow. Some people don't. Some people just let theirs droop down. There's really no way to it. The best thing I can tell you to do is just make sure that your bow is simply tucked. And that's it. You want to try to make it look neat, but that's it. That's all there is to it. So this is what it looks like in the back, the side, and that's it. You just want to make sure your bow looks neat. Now, the only difference is whether or not you want it to be behind your ear. If you don't want any of your hairline to show at all, I tend to like some of my hairline showing. If you don't want any of your hairline to show and it's going to be like a rainy day or something like that, then definitely just go ahead and cover your whole head up. I do want to give you a couple of pointers, especially if you have short hair and you're wearing the scarves like I do and you have color in it. As you can tell, clearly my hair is colored. So what I tend to do is actually put a wig cap on. I have a blonde colored wig cap. It's around here somewhere. And normally I will put a wig cap on, especially if my scarf material is not a silky material, meaning it's not going to just glide across my head, because depending on the materials you have, they can rub on your sides. It's number one, it's going to dry your hair out. It's not going to lock the moisture in unless you're protecting your hair. So sometimes what I'll do is, because I have really short hair, I'll just either brush mine all the way back, or just brush it on whatever way that I would normally wear it. and I just put a wig cap on the areas that are going to be covered with the scarf, and then I just go ahead and proceed with tying my scarf. You want to make sure that even though you're wearing the scarves for fashion, whether you have long or short hair, that this is technically should be a protective style, meaning that it's protecting your hair and it's not harming your hair. And if you wear the scarves that are not silky material, then hands down, your hair, that rubbing is not going to be good for your hair. As far as where I get my scarves from, this one was gifted to me. I believe my mother gave it to me for Christmas, and this was way before I was even wearing the scarves, because I had a different short haircut and I wasn't really covering my hair up that much, and it was the winter time. A lot of my scarves were actually gifted to me between my mom and my twin. So yeah, I just got lucky on that. Now I will state this: I will go to the craft store and get a yard of fabric. Double check and make sure that they're cutting your fabric right, because lately going to Joann's, I've been getting a lot of issues with people cutting my fabric too short and they're charging me for a full yard. You might not need an entire yard of fabric, but I always say it's better to have too much than too little, because you can always use that extra fabric and, you know, make something else. Say if you have a small child, then maybe you want to make a small hair bow for her or something like that. But I always get a yard of fabric just so I have enough to, because I like my bow to be kind of big. I don't want a little teeny tiny bow, because then it kind of reminds you like Aunt Jemima and it doesn't really look as cute. So I do like a nice big fluffy bow. And you can go to the craft store and purchase material and make your, and that again, it does not have to be a specific type of material. I will say though, try to make sure your material is really, really light, because the heavier the material, the heavier it's going to be on your head. And I had took one of my husband's scarves one day and I just wore it on my head and I was like, oh my god, this is so heavy. So just make sure that you use really light and thin and airy materials, but the specific type, rayon, polyester, it doesn't really matter, cotton, what have you. Just make sure that you are wearing a wig cap, especially if you have short hair. Make sure you're wearing a wig cap. For those that have longer hair, I guess they're like putting theirs up in a ponytail. I don't know, because I don't have a lot of hair to tell you how they're doing it, but I'm sure there's tons of tutorials on it. But again, I would think some of them are probably putting a wig cap or something on, or maybe they're not. I don't know. But you don't have to. I'm just telling you, your hair will rub against the material and fall out if you're wearing these constantly and you're not taking it off, or, you know, anything like that. So those are my tips, my tricks, and how I tie my hair bow or my scarf or whatever it is that you want to call it. And I hope this answers a lot of the questions that you guys had, because you're like loving this head wrap, and every time I go out I get tons of compliments on my head wraps. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and until next time, have a gorgeous day. Smooches. Mwah. Bye.